but we're good. We're good.
Oh, I've just been warned about my connection loading in.
Oh no.
Yeah, you might end up doing solo comms, just so you know.
Well, I did it last week, so should be good. Even though my voice will be knackered, but let's see. As we are live now, right now. Third. Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream. Today we are back for the third round of the IRT Championship around Jeddah today. We are joined today by my co-commentator Nolan. Welcome to the commentator box. How are you doing?
I'm alright, trying to stay online. I've not been online all week. I think I've had internet for about 2 hours over the last week, so we'll see how this goes.
That doesn't sound promising, but hopefully the rest all survived, as we've got our first guy who has left the session by Lucas Supremo. So you're not the first one to have left the session so far.
We'll take those.
We'll take those.
I did join a racing lobby last week. Not even racing, it was GTA, and I had to leave because I couldn't see anybody, so...
Well, thankfully my connection is decent, so the stream should be up and running fine with some good gameplay. And like we said in the beginning of the stream, we are back with the third round of the IRT Championship. Hopefully everyone is good. We're looking forward to this race, and it's going to be a good one, I think. Of course, we had Jeddah yesterday in real life as well, and we saw some fantastic racing between Verstappen and Leclerc, and plenty of racing in the midfield like Lando versus Ocon, and of course Ocon again versus Alonso. So this track does produce some awesome racing, and I'm certain these drivers will hopefully push the limit, but not over the limit by taking each other out or something.
Well, yeah, the one thing I've noticed about this track, every time I've seen it in F1, you remember from Pro D4, it's been...
Yeah.
Racing standards have been very, very low every time I've seen this track. For some reason, and you see it in real life as well, to be honest. You saw F2, that was an absolute chaos at F2. And
insanity.
Hopefully we get some better racing standards. I know last week the steward's office was absolutely hectic after Belgium, so hopefully it calms down a bit and we get some nice clean racing and not a few DRS trains. It'd be nice to just get some overtakes that's not down the straight out at the last corner.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, hopefully we're going to see some clean racing. But I generally think it's better for the drivers just to be more consistent and just take every point you can, because the championship only just started, so it's better to take every point. And you gave a reference about League of Europe, and I started using that momentum more often, just being more consistent and being clean on track. Also, you've got our first driver starting our laps now, so of course I think the drivers are looking around a 26.7, 26.4 around that lap time. I think if you are 27, I think you will be outside the top 10, but I think mid 26 I think will be around the pole lap here.
Yeah, lap times vary. The drop off is quite high. I think we'll see quite a big gap between the top and the bottom driver in time, because this is real. Well, Sector 1 is known quite well to be a wheel sector. You can't. That's not to say you can't do it without a wheel, but it does have its benefits, as do other tracks with the pad, for instance. So we've got some people coming in already. ESW both getting their lap times in. Not too bad lap times, low 27s. I do think we'll be seeing some people in the 25s.
Also got a first retirement.
Ariel
by,
Car Mentalist.
Ruti Gullit.
Alright, and he's a really fast driver as well.
So there's some overtime already being called out by the Jeddah Street Circuit. I'm trying to find where the circuit is. Let me get telemetry up, apart from ERS and such. It looks like he's lost in the middle sector. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure where
he'll be disappointed with that because he's a very fast driver, and I think looking at this lobby, he probably could have seen some good points coming out of this. So he's going to have to make do during the race. Someone to keep an eye out on this race. I'm going to go with Marty and Carmentalist. Carmentalist, obviously, we know how good he is at this track. I actually think he could fight with Justas for this race. I don't think Carmentalist will be out of it at all. But Marty, sure. Last thing I've seen, he's been very good at this track.
Yeah, the Div 3 driver in the League of Europe, right now in P8. I think he set us up on the mediums. Yes, indeed, he set us up on the mediums. The mediums are actually quite competitive around here. The drop-off compared to the softs actually isn't too big. So I reckon you're going to see some medium laps here. But of course, it's better to go for that track position and be as high up as possible. We're looking here for one stop from soft to medium tires, and of course medium soft for the alternative strategy. As the drop off, the tires don't wear as quickly. I've got Bumpy coming to the line right now, only up a little bit, and he improved to second place from fourth. Only 1,000 ahead of Rick, who won last week in Belgium. So a good lap from Bumpy here.
Yeah, I think the issue that you're referring to with the mediums is Jeddah's almost a guaranteed safety car, so you're going to want to pit. You're going to just want to be at the front of the pack when the safety car comes. So I think you're going to have to go into the softs and go for track position, but there's no harm in doing a medium lap, but you're going to want to probably go in, and most people will be finishing this session with a soft lap time.
Yeah, like you said, I think with the walls being so close, it's a faster Monaco, I'd say. So safety cars are very prone around here, so you do want track position and be as high up as possible. But then again, if everyone's on softs and they go into the pits, the order will shake up quite a bit. As we've got Kart Race now going first with a 27-1. Quite a way off what I expected, but I guess I'm not that good in predicting sometimes around here.
I think what we'll see with the drivers like Justas, who has a big tank slapper as he comes around the last corner, very similar to what Verstappen did there. Very lucky to not put it in the wall as he starts his lap. So we'll keep an eye on this, but I think we'll see drivers like Carmentalist, for instance. I think they'll probably save a set of tyres. I don't think Carmentalist will do the full amount of runs. I think he'll look at this lobby and back his pace quite highly. And I think he's a driver that we could probably see, if he nails his soft lap, maybe that'll be the only lap he does, because if you're starting at the front of this group, as long as you have a fresh set of tyres, the safety cars later on in the race, you're going to have a big advantage.
Yeah, exactly. As we're now watching Justas completing Sector 1, he does a 30.3 for the first sector. Looks pretty neat and tidy so far. But how will his middle sector will be? Oh, as he's hitting the wall, slightly hit the wall. Going to the absolute limit here. I'm pretty sure he picked up some slight damage, but do complete the lap, so you've got a reference. As he's so close to the wall once again, absolutely on the limit here is Justas for Relentless. Coming down, completing his middle sector now. It's a 58.3.
I don't think Justas is on the limit. I think he's just. I think he's picked up a little bit of damage there. You've noticed it afterwards. He was understeering quite a few times after that impact on the wall. So I think he'll come into the pits here, go for another run, and it just goes to show that Justas is terrible at this game.
If he watches this stream back, I don't think he would appreciate that comment, as he indeed goes into the pits. With a difficult pit lane entry right here. Same as in Baku, the left-right here is coming into the pits. You don't want to get
the pit exits the dangerous one on this track, because it's very easy to pick up a penalty cutting over the pit line.
Yeah, of course. We saw in F2 especially, even if you by just going outside the pits, you saw drivers locking up. So maybe the entry is a bit difficult for some, because you saw, I'm pretty sure Hauger, you saw him lock up there. Plenty of F2 drivers. Of course, F1 cars have way more grip and don't seem to lock up as quite quickly, but still, you see, it's a difficult pit lane exit, so the driver has to be aware of that.
Yeah, as Ariel Carmental is coming out on his outlap now, so
Indeed.
We'll see what he's going to
As
pull
we
in
see,
soon.
Mack is now on his lap right now in P16 for the BNR time. We don't see 30.3 in the first sector as well. Couldn't quite see his first sector for a little bit, as he doesn't hit the wall, unlike Justice here.
Yeah, we've got yellow flags there. I'm not quite sure who for, but they went away quite quick.
Looks to be quite neat and tight lap so far. Of course, he hasn't posted a lap yet after 10 minutes. It is a 57.7 middle sector. No purple, but he looks pretty good so far. Looking to be hopefully around Boompje, Rick and Nathan. As it's very close in the midfield,
the 27s.
Just see how close it is.
Seems to be the way to go, but
if you
we'll definitely see people get into the 26s, probably low 26s as well.
If you just check the times now from Boompje till Phelan, there's only about half a tenth. As he goes P2, just ahead of ESW JR and behind the kart racer. So good lap there from Marcus, who's into second place right now. So good job from him. As now Marty goes into a third place with a 27.2. So a good lap from him as well. On the soft tires, improved by 1.5 seconds. So good luck from Marty. You did say he was going to be a drive to look out for. As he backs it in P4. As Nathan also goes to P2. By the 27.2.3. So just ahead of Marcus. But you see, the times are very close for everyone here. So, of course, people starting their second runs now. And the track improving every time. No night race. It should be a night race. I've put it on the realistic time. So, it will be a night race.
I think it should work that way. As I'm just keeping an eye on Carmento's lap time now as he's coming through. He did run off the track at the end of sector 1. I'm not sure if this lap will be allowed to stand. That'll be obviously
does look like
not
it
down
so
to
far.
me.
As he got a little bit of a slipstream from the guy's head. Coming to the line now with a 27. He goes fastest. He goes fast there. Pole position so far for Commentalist. Good luck for him so far. 12,000 out of kart racer. So good job from him. And like I said in the beginning of the stream, just Commentalist, one of the quicker guys here, it seems, for today.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. You might want to improve on that because I have a feeling that one probably won't. Well, in my opinion, probably shouldn't stand. So,
as we said it now, Dean Phelan is now going fast. As he's got wide now into turn 1-2, but it's gone fastest with a 26.9, the first 26 of this session. But only about 3/10 ahead of P9, Colin R. Mason. So the times are insanely close. So every corner can make a difference. So keep pushing to the line. As now it's a NRL 1-2 with another 26.9, and just as in P3 with a 27 flat, pretty much. So it's NRL Relentless, and then LFR Peter Vol in 5th with a 27.1. So the times are getting closer and closer.
Yeah, the times are really starting to come down now, as we saw before. A 27.4 would have got you top 5. Now it won't even get you top 11. So. Quickly the times have started to improve, and I think we're going to see a very hectic last few minutes to this qualifying session.
As Boompje is invalidated, he was about 2/10 up on his time, so unfortunate for him. Guessing he's going to the pits to get the new set of tires on. Only 5 minutes left of this qualifying session now, so we're going to start seeing the final run in a couple of minutes' time. Of course, you don't want to be in traffic, so I expect some drivers to come out now with their final runs.
Yeah, we are seeing drivers cutting the corners to get back into the pits early. I wouldn't recommend that because you can get reported for that. So maybe don't try and blow where you're going to finish by cutting the corners.
Exactly, especially if it's called on stream. So just stay on track.
But we do have an NLR front 2 with 2 Relentless drivers right behind them, so it's going to be very interesting the last few minutes. Everyone's going to probably have one more run in them, so I think we're going to see quite a competitive run of lap times now.
Exactly, as we now going to watch Matt TC for the Vora team. He's got a 30 flat or 30.1 first sector for the Vora team in P13 right now. Is it Vora or yeah, I think it's or it could be
yeah, Vora Racing.
Yes. Well, it could be DRA because it's the same colors. But let's see how he does his lap. For apparently a 57.3 middle sector, so good time so far for him.
Ooh.
It run very wide, but no invalidation,
Very
just on the
lucky to
curve.
keep that validated there.
Going to the absolute limit here. Going into the final sector. Is he gonna do Max Verstappen or is he gonna put a clean lap in? As Lucas Primo goes into third place with a 27 flat 1,000th off. As now Matt is coming to the line now. Primo's doing a Leclerc and he goes fifth fastest with a 27.
Look how close the lap times are at the front.
So close. Less than a tenth in between, and that gets you P5 to P1. Ridiculous
the
times
only
here.
two drivers to get into the 26s are in the front two rows of the grid in the NLR, and I'm surprised they're not back out yet.
Indeed, indeed. But do remember, it's a short, some sort of a short lap. So Matt won't be doing another run. So I expect him to move down a couple of positions, especially with all the midfield guys on the lap right now. As Marty just starting his lap now. Going into turn one.
A little bit though. They're gonna want to get out as soon as they can, really.
Yeah, like I said,
Unless
you don't want to be in
I've got my timing wrong. For me, it says there's 1 minute 40 left.
There's 2:20 for me left, so.
Oh, there we go. That'll explain it then. I've got. for me, it says it's going to end a little bit earlier than it will do.
Well, you're not wrong still with drivers going out as quickly as you can. As Marty is a bit of a tenth down on his time, so he's looking to improve in the middle sector. Coming to the middle sector now, the tough corner coming up right here. You want to be as close to the wall as you can, gaining the momentum to the middle sector. As he's got a car ahead who moves out the way for Marty. We saw Matt putting up a 57.3 middle sector and he's down. He doesn't seem to be improving, Marty, so looks to be staying around P10, around there. But he's gonna complete the lap anyway. Coming to the final sector now. What can Marty do? As Matt is indeed retired after doing his final run already. Coming to the final corner for now for Marty. Coming to the line. What can he do now? Did he find some time? No, he didn't. He's going to the pits. So it will be P10 maximum for Marty, unfortunately. Bumping on lap. He seems to be 10th up already after sector 1. And like I said, with the grid being
Marty
so
might be
close,
hoping someone else improves. So he can get that alternate strategy at least.
well, his teammate's improving after being a 10th up after sector 1. What can Bumpy do?
Oh, I
So
feel like Nathan
close
JB's
here.
on a lap.
Nathan also on a lap. He is in
He's done
PPI driver now. Apparently he's on a very good lap here. What can Nathan do? Coming to the line now. Slight slipstream there for the car ahead from the Relentless driver. As Nathan will post a 26.9 going into P3 here. Only 2,000 away. Great lap there from Nathan. Good lap there from him. What can Bumpy do? Quickly go back on board with him. He does a 27.0 up to P8. So Marty is now on the alternative strategy. But there's still guys behind him on the lap. JR for the ESW team hasn't improved. Bayona also invalidated. Rick is on a lap, improving by a 10.5. But that only will get him, it looks like, P13 so far. What can he do in the final sector? Using his DRS on the back straight here. Last week's winner here around Belgium. But what can he do now? Can he go into the top 10? Slide Wigger there on the exit. Going to the line now, and it will be a 27.1. And he goes P10. He actually improved by a bit in the final sector. So P10 for him right now. Pushing Marcus down, but Marcus is invalidated. So he won't improve from that position. Maxime also won't improve. Joey is half a second up on his time, but he did a 28.9. So don't expect him to move up any positions.
Just keep an eye on Justas for a second here, because he's looking to improve and possibly take pole position.
And he does.
And he does with a 7.74. It was a very good lap. I saw Carmentalist invalidate earlier on in the lap. I thought actually he might drop back and give Justas slipstream at the end of the lap, but he didn't need to. Justas with a 26.7, and that was a very, very good lap time. And he was actually down, I believe, at the end of Sector 1, so he did very well to pull some time out at the end of that.
And not by a small margin as well, nearly 2 tenths ahead of Kart Racer here, so great lap there from Justas. And I think that will be pole position, because Boompje did his lap already, and he's going to the pits now, so that will be pole position for Justas, with that great final run. With Kart Racer in second, Peter in third place, kinda missed out on that, but great time for the LFR team. With Dean Phelan in P4, with Nathan then in P5, Luca Supremo in P6, Matt TC in P7. Oh, us now cutting away from the standings. As we're now on board with another relentless driver. So, what do we think about that qualifying session then?
Well, I think the NLR boys really impressed. I think they've got a really good chance coming into the race, especially if they can get a bit of teamwork, maybe get Dean past the LFR driver ahead of him as soon as possible, and then you could have them two almost work as a team to help maybe slipstream each other past Justas. As we know, you can almost slingshot people with slipstream and DRS after the second lap on this corner, on this track. So
indeed,
maybe they could use that to their advantage, where we saw it in real life. Sometimes it's not better to go for the overtake in the last corner, but with these two, they could possibly afford to do that and help each other along.
Indeed, indeed. So, and the grid being so close, you kind of have to expect teams working together and drivers, all the teams being so close to each other. So I'm expecting guys to work together indeed.
Well, I was hoping to see a bit more of that. I'm not going to lie. It is a team event, and I think we've seen quite a few times in the first two races, almost drivers working for themselves. And I think the teams that are going to work together, they're going to find themselves scoring a few more points overall in the season. So I think seeing a bit of teamwork will probably help teams, especially in this track as well.
For sure, for sure. And it's the beginning of the championship still, so you want to get as many points consistently as you can, because Relentless started off with a 1-2, of course, in Imola, but then last week they didn't score at all, allowing DRA to catch up entirely, because they're only like 5 points behind them now. So it's just sums up. You want to be consistent as possible.
Yeah, it's all going to be about consistency with this championship. You want your team. You're only as good as your worst driver, I honestly think, unless you're going to be putting your best drivers in every week. But if you're going to be rotating your team in a team event, you need your bottom drivers to be working together a little bit more as well, which it might sound harsh calling them bottom drivers, but that's just some teams, is the way they're formatted, and it's all about how well you can work together, which we might see with these NLR drivers. We're going to see a bit of a gap between the two Relentless drivers, but it will not be a surprise if you see Carmentalist up in the top 5 in the first couple of laps, bar any damage.
Potentially. I mean, with NRL being so high up, they can... and if no safety car arrives, they can go for the undercut on Justas. So you want, or Justas at least, expects Commentators to move as high up, so they can cover the undercut with NRL. So, and LFR being high up as well. So
big if though. Safety cars at this track are almost a guarantee.
Well, how many safety cars are we gonna expect then after for this race?
I'm gonna go 3 minimum.
3 minimum? Oh, that's quite a lot.
I think
I'm going for 2.
It's Jeddah.
Indeed. Slight damage can give you anything. As you see the strategy prediction on the screen right now, expect you can pit after lap 9. Well, probably quite a bit earlier for the after softs, and then go to the end on a set of mediums, and then of course a set of hards if you want to. But I do not recommend using a set of hards around this track.
Oh no, I think I've only ever seen it work once, and that was because about 4 safety cars came out. So,
indeed. We see some predictions.
Could we
in the
get the
chat right
tires
now.
up on the stream? If that's alright.
Oh yeah, good shout there. As we see everyone outside the top 10 on the mediums, apart from Beono. He's going for a set of softs, so he is looking to get a good start here. move as many positions up as possible. So, as we're now lining up to the grid now, who is gonna win the race? You reckon?
Oh, I have to go for Justas. He's just very, very, very good at this track, and I don't see anyone in this lobby quite as good as him.
Well, that's
I'll go
a very
Justas,
good shout indeed.
Carter, and then I'm actually going to go for Nathan JB as third.
Go on. I'm going with someone outside the top 10 on the podium. I'm going with I'm going with Colin R. Mason in third, Commental second, and then Justas first. There you go. Also now, lights are on right now. Is it glitch? I hope not. And lights out, and away we go. It's a good start from Justas, seems. As he leads into turn 1, then we get the tire screen quickly away. And he keeps the lead so far. With Nathan moving up 1 position.
I can hear contact, but I don't think anything major's happened. No, it hasn't.
He tried to overtake Justas, but he kept the lead. Good start for him so far. Also got Joey has spun into the wall. He's got some damage. It looks like. No, he hasn't. So we've got a first spinner here. But no safety car so far.
That's a fairly clean start for what we usually see. Is we're going to see a move up the inside there, and he's hit the wall. I don't know if he's made contact, but he's hit the wall, but Lucas is around.
I'm not sure what happened there, indeed.
I think that was an internet issue. We saw that his internet was a little bit dodgy before. I think he had a slight internet issue there where he's hit somebody on their screen. I don't think he might have been there, but
yeah, indeed.
Unfortunately, he's dropped down. The people behind all gain 1 position, but overall, very clean start from the front group, and unfortunate for Lucas.
Indeed, could be just an issue of desync, being so far away from guys in Europe. But that's the issue
that's
with...
That's unfortunate for LFR, because they had indeed 2 drivers up there as well.
Well, the good point for them is Peterville being in 3rd place, but about to lose DRS, seems like, and Nathan being very close to the back of him. So, he's already, nearly a second behind already from the top 2 guys. As Kart Racer seems to have good pace, being half second behind. Justas, who sets a fast lap right now with a 31.8, being of course the first guy to cross the line.
And remember, something to point out with these events is we do run custom cars, and the way Codemasters run the game, their teammate in the championship is not necessarily their teammate in the race, so we could see some very unfortunate incidents in the pits, and we have seen that a few times this season already, where people have been double stacked, not knowing.
Indeed. So as Marty has lost some positions now, I think I don't know what's gonna happen. Don't know what's happening in the midfield, but looks very dangerous so far. Oh, there's a crash right here! Oh my goodness! What a incident here! Must be a safety car, no? It's a VSC apparently.
That one kind of was Marty's fault.
I'm pretty sure it picked up
Marty
damage
had
here.
damage. He was moving out of people's way, and he just kind of went back onto the racing line whilst Lucas was coming through at full speed, and they just went into contact with each other. So that's them 2 out the race. But Lucas won't be happy with that one.
And there is our first safety car then. So
and I did say the big 3.
That's one of the 3.
And Justas is underfueled, so he was ready for this.
He let me get the telemetry up. Indeed, he underfueled. So good spot there.
And now the question is, will these... I think these soft runners, they're going to pit already just to get the pit stop out of the way, I'd assume.
I mean, it's quite early, but...
it might be worth putting softs back on and expect another safety car, to be honest.
Indeed. I think all of us are pitting. I think Kart Racer was waiting for Justas to react. So here we are, all the guys pitting, apart from Matt, who's staying out. Let me check. Boomby's got a 5-second penalty for speeding. Quite unfortunate here. Plenty of guys, front wing even, 2 front wings.
I can't see any double stacks at the moment.
Kart Races are in between each other, it looks like. No,
I think everybody's got away with it.
Indeed, with of course the medium runners staying out.
Which I'd say, well, obviously we've got me, TC, and Rick. They both stayed out on the soft, so they're predicting maybe not as many safety cars as we hope. So, well, as we predicted, they're hoping that maybe one more comes out later down the line. But as it stands at the moment, these 2 will need another safety car.
Indeed, but not a bad shot actually, because they now have clean air, and the guys who are on fresher tires, well, not that many laps fresher, but The guys now in the midfield have to get through the pack, whilst the guys in the lead have fresh air. So could be a good strategy here, and have fresh tires at the end. But of course, having lost all that delta now is not what you want, ideally.
Yeah, I think they took a risk. It could pay off, but I just know how this track's like, and I think they could find themselves in a bit of a spot of bother now, and I think the medium runners might be in trouble as well.
Indeed. If I was Bumpy, I would serve your 5-second penalty now, because you're on P15 now. You're only gonna lose one position, probably, and expect Joey to pit as well, because he's now on the soft tires, catching up. But I would just pit, serve the 5-second penalty, and then catch back up to the field, because then you're still in the race. Because you don't expect his 5-second penalty to be removed.
Yeah, I think he might have to. He might have to probably. I'd serve that straight away, to be honest. I'd serve that under the safety car, but he's at the back anyway.
That was my point, so just pit straight away now. Could we see tires? Of course you can. Got indeed plenty of medium runners now, since there was a safety car, but the top two have decided to stay out, and of course Joey was pitted for softs after having damage. But expect him to make another pit stop as well. Let me check what Bumpy's going to do.
Joey might just go for this.
Yeah, he's staying out.
I think Joey's thinking I've got nothing to
out.
lose. And why? I don't know why Bumpy's staying out. That's a bit of a strange move for him.
Indeed.
You're gonna lose one position. You may as well just pit.
Indeed. So you can see now here all the guys who have made their pit stops so far. So from 1st to 7th hasn't made a pit stop yet, as of course there's guys on alternative strategy here. So it's gonna be interesting how Justas is gonna go to the midfield pack here. Is he gonna play it carefully, or is he gonna try to overtake as many guys as possible? It's gonna be a really interesting race so far. Of course, knowing by the driving standards, it's gonna be quite difficult. It's gonna be quite difficult.
Justas is gonna find himself in a bit of trouble here, because drivers like Justas, Carter, they know they're faster, but you can't go your full speed when you got these drivers ahead of you. They're not going to be going as fast, and I think there's a chance that these faster drivers could pick up some wing damage here.
Indeed, and this is what I did in the League of Europe for Australia. Just stay out, have track position, and then pull away from the field whilst they are battling, and that really helped me getting a win. Cheeky Cloud there, W's.
The only issue with that is I do think there will be another safety car later on, and then these soft runners are going to be on the mediums, and the medium runners will be able to go on those fresh softs, so this could bite them. It depends when the safety cars come, if another safety car comes.
There's so many pictures that can happen right now in this race, but there's still 21 laps to go after this, so I'm looking forward to this.
The only person I think has genuinely messed up here is Bumpy, because I think he should have got rid of his penalty whilst they were in the pits.
I agree.
See people swapping positions there. It's not what we usually see under a safety car, but DRA Rick Indeed. And Mid-TC is going to start off this restart, and I think obviously on this track you want to start as close to the line as possible. You don't want to get caught.
Indeed.
But you can catch them out going on the exit.
With it being
no
such
DRS.
A bit of a straight as well.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Oh my God! What happened there? What happened there with Rick?
What's Rick doing?
What happened to Rick? Huh?
What's Rick doing?
What's happening? Matt is gone. Rick is now going into the pits. What on earth happened there? That's one of the strangest things I've ever seen on this game. Also now the restart, safety car restart's happening now with it looks like Ruti Gullit overtaking here. And so we've got a spinner here in Colin R. Mason.
And he's in the wall. ESW JR's pulled over to let everyone pass. I think he's got an illegal overtake on Mick, maybe. That makes sense. And now, all of a sudden, Justas is in 4th. Hullet, who started last, is in 3rd place.
And look up Matt, he's got a 7-second gap.
He's fighting with Marcus. Hullet's into 2nd place from last on the grid. We're on lap 5. And Mick's got a 7.5-second gap. What was Mick doing?
What the hell was that restart?
What was Rick doing? I don't understand.
That's the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
The other drivers were too scared to go past Rick. They didn't want an illegal overtake, which I think has happened to ESWJR. I'm
also
not
got a
too
retirement.
certain.
We've got another retirement, so expect safety car number 2, and he
I know we don't have another
does.
safety car.
So someone has
What
done a
has just
Latifi.
happened? And Dean's put it in the wall. What has just happened? And me there might be able to pit and get away with this gap.
Indeed. Maxime has got no front wing. Rick has pitted. And wait, he's got no front. Wait, oh no, D-swing. Never mind. He's got his front wing.
I've never seen that before in league racing.
That's so strange. I'm guessing loads of wheel failures, but surely within a couple of seconds, then I'm
then he just went into the
shell-shocked.
pits.
As Marcus got a 5-second penalty, and Boomby is serving his 5-second penalty now. I'm not sure why he did it now, but as he got
I'm
front
so
wing damage,
confused.
I think.
Is Mitty C gone in? He's not. Has he gone in? He stayed out. What is he doing?
Who stayed out? Wait, what happened?
The leader stayed out. He should have pit. He's still in those softs.
Indeed. What did he do?
He had nearly a 10-second gap to second place where he could have pit. He would have lost maybe 3 positions.
Yeah, and how long is the pit lane? I'm pretty sure like 21 seconds, right?
Yeah, but behind the safety car, he would have lost too much time.
Yeah, he would have been at least P10. So very strange call from him.
He'd have been way high. He'd have been in the top 5. He had a 10-second gap to the front group.
Yeah. So
what is going on?
I just no clue. Just the clean racing from yesterday completely thrown out of the window here with so it's confirmed that Rick had a wheel failure that caused absolute chaos in the midfield or high up, so that's so unfortunate for the ESW guys with them being so high up, but they've got another chance here with they've got a
I'm
chance
so
here.
confused.
Yeah, that was the strangest safety car ever. Just cross crashing. It's like the F2 restart there with Duan and
I've never seen anything like that. Rick let first get a 7-second gap and then went into the pits at the safety car restart.
I'm pretty sure because people have confirmed he has a wheel failure. I'm pretty sure he just went into the pits to save save the chaos basically, so it doesn't happen again. I'm pretty sure that's my prediction for it.
Holy moly!
At least there's no red flags in the game. Indeed. As JR is now into the pits, going for a set of mediums till the end, obviously now. So good call from him there. Being at the back, he can just play it safe and just brake earlier and let chaos ahead happen.
That is so confusing.
Let me check the tires now quickly. Of course, we've got how many? We've got 3 guys who haven't made a pit stop so far, by the name of Colin R. Mason, Rudy Gullit and Matt TC, who strangely hasn't made a pit stop with a 10-second gap, whatever it was. And that's safety car number 2.
I don't know why he didn't pit.
Yeah, that's so weird, but he clearly knows something we don't, apparently, so let's hope it does work out for him. But that's safety car number 2 after 7 laps. So I'm expecting, if it keeps going like this, 5 safety cars.
I don't even know anymore. Jeddah is just always so confusing for me.
Indeed. With such a tricky circuit, and of course the last turn 27 being such a difficult corner to get.
Obviously, right now we're on lap 7 of 25 safety car. The front runner is on 6-lap-old softs. Then we've got the second runner on 6-lap-old mediums. Then from that, people go down 3-lap-old mediums all the way down to 9th, who's on 6-lap-old mediums. Rick is on fresh 1-lap-old mediums. We've got Marcus on hards, fresh hards, and everyone else is on fresh softs, fresh mediums down below, apart from Maxim, who's decided to go for some softs. So he's obviously expecting another safety car. Marcus clearly going to the end, but he does have a speeding penalty. The safety car's going to come in this lap, so we're going to see a very varied amount. I think Rick, hopefully, he's got his wheel sorted now. We won't want to see that again on the restart, but this might be a more organised restart from the race, you'd think.
Let's hope so. As we're now seeing Matt on board with him now, when he's gonna time his restart. Looks to be a lot cleaner than last time at least, as we're now racing once again. With a massive gap between Kart Racer and Just As. Kart Racer completely caught out behind that restart. As having to defend from Peter Vol. And Commental is behind him. With Matt still in the lead.
Yeah, but still in the lead. He's on those softs. They'll still be alright for a few more laps. Obviously, half the race has been under a safety car at this point. So, but Justas is chilling just behind Hoyt at the moment. Hoyt, must remember, started last, so done very well. Nobody's got a penalty so far on track, which is very good to see. They will be putting in though. Don't doubt that. As Camacho has an amazing run now on Petrol. He's going to be maybe having a look. He's not going to go for it just yet. Bit of a smarter driver than that, but you can tell by the pace he'll be hoping to get into that top 5 very soon, because you don't want to drop off from the front gap before the DRS starts to kick in. And
Peterville just doesn't seem to have the race pace compared to Kart Racer, and just has us nearly being a second behind already. So Commental is looking to overtake him as quickly as possible here. And Rudy Gillis could play a role here with Nathan to help Nathan out by holding Justice up and the guys behind him. As Rick picks up the first on-track penalty.
They're all holding on. Justas kind of has to be in a weird situation where he kind of needs to help Carmental stay with them. Carmental has to get past pretty much as soon as possible before this guy drops off the group. I think he might end up using here to get past him. We'll find out. He normally has very good straight line speed, does Carmental, with his setups. He's not using that much yet, and he's going to sit behind for the time being, maybe waiting for DRS to be activated. But
waiting behind.
1.2 seconds behind is Nathan goes on the outside just before the corner. He's found himself into P7, and I think Nathan has more pace than Ono, and he'll be hoping to get back into the DRS of Carmentalist.
As Nathan overtaking Ono, trying to catch up to Commentalist, who's behind Peter Vol here. But so far, pretty clean restart. Of course, it's going to be much worse than last time out, so well done to the drivers so far.
I don't think I've seen a restart like that last one. That is absolutely insane, but
insanity.
We'll go back to the front of the grid. MeTC still at the front, not pitted yet. He's on those softs. A confusing strategy, but it might pay off. Who am I to judge? I'm probably the worst strategy guy in league racing history. Hoyt starting at the back, 8-lap-old mediums. He is sat in second place, just chilling. Still has to pit himself as well. Let's not get mistaken. So in provisional P1 at the moment, we have Justas and then Kart Racer just behind. Those were, I think, our front two to start with, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, but I think those guys are just going to play it safe, not get damaged, because they know the guys ahead have to pit still. So it's a good call from them just to be safe. And they've got the pace over Peterful, so as Colin Mason
and here we go now, Carmental is going to go for the run. He's got has he got DRS now? It's not activated yet, no, but he's got past him with DRS, straight line speed. And now Justas, I think, should probably... He don't need to worry about the front two. I think he should maybe hold up Kart and help get Carmentalist back into DRS. That's what I do as the team play there, personally.
Indeed. But they're both already high up, so they don't need to risk anything here, personally. With them being in the provisional first and third here, so... Of course, first and second is much better, but first and third, of course, still a great position on the DRA. And with DRA being so low down, it's a great position to be in. As we're now seeing the drivers behind Simicek, as Colin Mason just falling down the field, unfortunately. Hasn't made a pit stop so far, so it's been a pretty tough race so far for ESW with that safety car restart. They were looking to have that a great restart, but it was exactly the opposite pretty much, with both of the drivers crashing out behind that safety car here.
Yeah, and exactly what I just said to you has happened. Carmental, sorry, very close to getting back in DRS. He's just about got it now. He's dangling on the edge of that DRS window. Is he going to get it? I'm not sure
He's so close.
I think he's just outside the window
no,
there.
he missed it. He missed it.
He's not got it.
Nope.
He didn't use any ERS going into that corner, and now he's going to find himself dropping back. And
Scott racing.
What they needed there was to get him in, and now car racing. Justas is going to go up the inside of MTC, and he's got it a little cutback move. He's up into P2. MTC is going to drop into third.
What can Kart Racing do now?
And those softs are starting to die now. He's going to have to pit soon.
As he posted the fast lap with a 30.5, he's looking to go past Matt as quickly as possible to not lose as much time.
Yeah, I think Relentless didn't quite play the team game there as well as they should have done, maybe could have done. I think Justas driving a little bit for himself, which maybe that's the orders they've been given, but personally I think it would have been better to get Carmentos back in. But these front guys are scrapping for it. Carmentos is catching up. I think this guy in the soft tyres is really helping the guys behind out because they're closing up. His tyres are starting to die, and he's going to have to pit pretty soon.
Indeed, as you can see now, Carmentos is in the 1 second window now, so he will have DRS for the next straight onwards. As Kart Race is so close to the back of Matt here, as Matt's actually doing pretty well to stay within the DRS of Justas, guessing you're using a lot of ERS to stick with him, but still doing a good job, I'd say, on those old softs, as they are getting worse and worse per lap now. So starting lap 12 here with Ruti Gullit in the lead, followed by Justas. Matt still having to make a pit stop, same as Ruti Gullit. As Justas looking to get to the lead as quickly as possible. And you see the prediction we didn't want has come out with the DRS train here, with so many guys just following behind each other. Looking for the move here.
This is the cleanest sector of racing that we've seen so far, so I'll take it as...
Of this entire league so far. So celebrations for us all here. So less job to do for the stewards, but let's hope it can continue. Without any safeguards, of course.
I will say I'm struggling to keep up with what's going on now because cars do just drive into walls on my screen every now and again. The internet's not quite there.
Oh, yeah,
about 4 times I've watched MTC drive into a wall. So,
but he's doing so far so good for him. I'm not sure when he's gonna make a pit stop, but I reckon he'll rejoin at the back. Well, Colin Mason has made a pit stop, so he'll rejoin in 14th if he does make a pit stop.
And Kart Race is going to go for the move early.
As Matt is nearly losing DRS.
Back off a bit. Smart move there.
Indeed, he backed off so close behind, like nearly touching his rear wing. As now,
yeah, he's going to get him down this straight.
Lining up Ruti Gullit here. Fresher tyres, has got DRS,
going
for the inside and takes the lead back again. With Rick saying the fast lap, a 30.1. Good lap from him.
And he gets the move done. Very clean move, and this is going to help.
Takes the lead.
He barely got past him there, though. He had to use a lot of ERS.
But he's got the move done. He does have clean air now. He can use those fresher tires now and push and pull away from Ruti Gullit and hopefully clear DRS from Kart Racer here. So close to the wall, so just pushing to the limit here. We love to see it.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen here. They're going to have to time this quite well because at the moment, it does need to pit. Remember, and Kart Racer is going to be out of DRS when Hollett pits. He's going to be out of that 1 second guy mark to Justas.
Indeed, as Colin R. Mason picks up a penalty down in 15th. Pretty tough race for him so far. But do recommend not giving up, because there could be a safety car at any moment now, or not like that, but there could be a safety car any moment, so just keep going, never give up in racing, because you can get in the points anytime, but just not by giving up. As Ruti Gullit still has DRS, to be fair, to Justas, so he's doing a pretty good job. As now Commental is going for the move for P4. Matt defending pretty hard here. No way past here from Commentalist.
Very, very, very clean defending there, and Car Mentalist will. I don't think he's a very calm person. Is Car Mentalist, so there'll be no rage in that party whatsoever over that move.
Indeed, indeed. But this does mean he lost a bit of the. Oh, he's gone wide, Matt. Matt's gone wide, so he lost the position now. So this released Commentalist, who's now 1.6 behind Kart Racer. Matt losing another position to Petervol, and Nathan now behind Matt. So I'm not sure when Matt is gonna pit. I don't know what his strategy is, to be fair. As now Nathan
this is what I was
going.
saying now, Carmentalist 1.7 behind Kart Racer. He's going to have a bit of work to do, but a bit of free air, and I know he's very, very fast when he just has his free air to drive. He'll probably getting quite frustrated behind mid-TC, so...
Indeed.
We're going to see drivers like Nathan getting held up behind, and until mid pits, we're going to see a lot of this.
But the DRS is so OP, especially, and the slipstream was gain you a couple of tenths, so... it's going to be pretty frustrating for Commentalist, especially
and here we go,
Petervol.
Nathan's looking at it, but he's backing away a little bit. A red flashing light there on the side, and he's going to go for the move at the inside. He's not chosen to back
around
off.
the outside here. Oh!
And
Commentalist
is in trouble.
He's got damage!
Oh, and they're in the wall. What has he done?
Nathan not paying attention to Rick, who was on the outside, and both into the wall now, so Nathan lost his front wing. So
Nathan's lost his front wing.
So
Carmentalist managed to hold off the position to Vol there.
So Nathan was on the inside, and he ran slightly, he ran wide, and didn't realize Rick was on the outside there, and then both were in the wall. As now Joey is in the pits, who's is Nathan's teammate. So
oh, that's a penalty for Carmentalist.
Commentalist got a penalty now.
And Ono as well, and now they start to flood in. Ono's just picked up one, and it won't surprise me if we see most racers pick up a penalty this race.
Indeed, indeed. But we see indeed the penalties coming out now, so I'm pretty sure Rudy Gullit is now just gonna have to wait for a safety car. Or if he does pit now, I'm pretty sure he will rejoin around Med-TC, around P11, but very far behind JR, who's in 10th place for the Esports Wheels team. Mak is doing okay on those hard tires, both BNL or ER drivers in P8 and P9. Bayonno for the Evora team in P7 with a penalty. Bompy in P6, 2 seconds behind Petervol, just doesn't be able to follow the tempo. However, he does have fresher tires than the cars ahead, so that might come back into play. And I know he does have. Wait, oh, Ruud Gillit's in the pit. I told Scott race for a second. What was I gonna say about Bompje? He does know how to save his tires very well, so that could help him very much.
Yeah, Bompje up into P5, and you have to think, imagine if he'd have served that penalty earlier on, when we said it, he could have been right up there in the fight at the front.
Indeed, indeed. But that does mean he would have been maybe in the chaos as well. Oh no, never mind, because then yeah, he would have been way higher up. So bad call there from him. But at least he's in the position now. He does have fresher tires, so hopefully he can use that to effect. As Commental is just losing the see how much DRS does gain you and how much quicker Just As and Kart Racer are. As the gap is now 2.3 seconds.
Yeah, it is something to point out though. It is a very well done job by Carmentalist, because he doesn't have the power of DRS, and he's managed to hold off Vol behind him for quite a few laps now. So I think these two, we might see a bit of trading over the next few laps, because the gap to 5th place is 2.2 seconds, that being Boompi that we were just talking about before. So it's probably within these guys' best interest to maybe trade and just use DRS from each other so they don't lose too much time, especially with that penalty that he's got.
I mean, I do think Petervol is just not going for the move by just saving ERS, as he knows Commentalist has the penalty. As he's actually lining up now by using ERS.
Now he's going to go for it.
He's going to go for it.
Yeah, he can't afford to wait because Boompi's on the way.
And he overtakes him now.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. And this is what these two need to do. These two need to use each other for their DRS and stop Boompi from catching up to them, because that's the only way Commentalist can keep him away from his penalty at the moment.
Indeed, indeed. As we're now switching to the lead battle here between Kart Race and Just As Nathan now sets the fast lap. He is in P13, so if he's in the top 10, he does get the point. just pointing out here, Ruud de Gullit has just made his pit stop, of course, and is now in P9, only about 3 seconds behind ESWR, and another 3 seconds behind Marcus. So he is still looking to get a top 6 finish potentially. He's a lot closer than we thought. But switching back to the lead battle now, this is basically like Leclerc versus Max battle here, with drivers on the absolute limits, pushing each other so hard. Who's gonna make the mistakes here, and who's gonna get out with the win here? Is it gonna be NRL or is it gonna be Relentless?
Yeah, this could easily come down to one penalty, maybe not. But look, you can see Kart Racer, he's backing off before the last corner. He doesn't want to overtake yet. He's waiting. He's backing off significantly there. He doesn't want to go for a move yet. I think he's waiting for the last lap to go for something, you know.
Indeed.
Maybe the 24th lap. I think he might be waiting for lap 24.
Interestingly, just as ERS is not flashing, so that does mean he's above 20%. So he's got a little bit. I think he's got a bit to use in case he needs to. But the finish is gonna be quite tough, especially with the 2 back straights here. See now the gap between Commentalus and Car Race is now 4 seconds. They're just losing so much time. And Bompie, like you pointed out a couple of laps ago, is now catching up. And Bompie is taking Beono with him as Ruud Gullit picks up a 3-second penalty. The penalty is coming out now, all of them. But Beono is looking pretty good, following a Bompie. And Bompie by himself is gaining to P12. As now Nathan picks up a penalty in P12. Pretty unfortunate incident with him and Rick, so we'll see what the stewards think about that. As actually both drivers are now behind each other, which is not what I think neither wanted, having had an incident with each other. But let's see how this is gonna end up now.
Yeah, I think this is going to be quite an interesting little scrap in the middle. Yeah, Nathan's pushing it. He's clearly quite annoyed after that last incident, but he always has himself to blame. This softener is now going to be soaring the way through the field, you'd imagine. I think Holt's on an absolute stormer right now as he comes right up to the back of ESW Junior. He's probably going to get him down this straight, I would assume, and that'll put him into up into 8th place. But obviously with that penalty, as easy work there, goes on the outside, and now can he pull that 3-second gap and save himself an extra position? He's going to have to hunt down Marcus, who's been on the hards for 12 laps now, so that could be someone to catch.
Indeed, and he does have, of course, the fresh set of tires, the fresh soft tires, so I reckon he's gonna get the 3-second gap quite easily, but do not push over the limit with it being such an easy track to get warnings here. So just keep the 3-second gap, as he's already cleared JR here for 1 second, so he's absolutely flying here. So he's looking quite good.
I'm very intrigued as to what Kart Racer is going to do here. He's just sat behind Justas. He's not even trying to go for a move. He's got 97% ERS, so he's clearly waiting for a last, I think lap 24, maybe up this back straight.
Indeed.
Until lap 25. Just after this corner here, you'll see you get DRS. I think he'll go for the move. I think he'll catch up to him there and he'll go for the move down the back straight. It's going to be very, very interesting the last few laps. A little game of chess here, because Justas, he's got to know it. He's not a stupid driver. He'll know that Kart's sitting behind him waiting. So it's going to be a big game of chess to see who gets DRS down this back straight.
Indeed, indeed. Speedful just saving up the ERS. When to make the move.
Carmento's still in trouble from Boompi as well from that penalty. So he's looking to drop 2 positions at the moment. He needs either Vol to make a mistake or something just to get out of DRS, but then that's going to give Boompi DRS, so maybe he doesn't want that. He just wants to, if anything, I think he'll be hoping that Vol speeds up a bit and they can kind of trade positions and get away from Boompi.
Totally. As Ruud is now past Marcus, so he has cleared JR for 2 seconds within 1 lap, so he's absolutely flying here. Can he catch up to Beono still and get that 6th place here? I mean, he's got so much better pace than Beono, who's on all tires, but he does have that penalty. They're both on the same amount of penalties here, so I reckon it's gonna be close at the end. As Boompi has made a mistake. Yes, he does. He spun. Boompi has spun.
Oh, Boompi's
picking
out.
Up damage.
He's not out of the race. He's not out of the race, but he has picked up damage. He's pretty much out of the race at this point.
Did he pick up damage? And it looks like he does. And he picks up a penalty now. Oh,
and now he picks up a penalty.
That's so unfortunate for him. That's probably gonna drop him outside the points. Losing the car in coming into the middle sector, going onto the throttle just slightly too quick here. Very unfortunate. It sucks because he was within 3 seconds of Commentalist, who has a penalty, and he did not. So that's really
that was a position there for him.
Costed him a P4 finish. Yeah, P4 here. So
and look at kart racing now, just right up the back of Justas there. He's really letting him know that I'm here. He's still got 100% ERS.
This is gonna be a very exciting end to the Grand Prix, because when is kart racing gonna go for the move here? When does he think the best time will be? Because of course Justas will have safe ERS. So
yeah, but look how much kart's got. He's got 100%. He's ready to go. He's just sat behind. I think he's going to go either lap 24 or he's going to go literally outside of the last car. I think he's going to use the ERS on the last lap to be right up the back of Justas for lap 20 for the last corner.
As now Ruud Gillit, now having gained the position from Boompje's mistake, is now up to P5 and wheeling in Commentalist. Can he still gain to Commentalist by getting a podium here potentially? It's gonna be very difficult, but you never know. As Commentalist nearly dropping a bit of DRS here.
Yeah, I think Commentalist knows now that he can, if he can pull away, he can keep this position. There's no one else to threaten him, but at the moment, he's minimum going to get P4, which is still really good.
Indeed. With Relentless, of course, not being 1 in 3, you could see maybe just a slightly backing of Kart Racer into Commentalist. So Commentalist or Kart Racer, sorry, has to defend from 2, can't go for the move straight away. That's something we could potentially see with a couple of laps to go still. As now Ruud Gillit is not able to gain the gap here, as his tires are slightly going off now. But it was a good drive from him, to be fair, with him being at the back of the grid. And with the safety car coming out, it's proved to be a very good drive from him, I'd say.
Yeah, it's been a very good drive, and I think after the first 5 laps or so, we've had a fun race. So
Indeed, with great battles.
It is very much a game of chess, this track, especially with the DRS zones, and very interested to see as we come down to the last 3 laps what these groups are going to do. I think Commentalist at the moment, not much that he can do. He's got to really just hope Vol makes a mistake. If not, top 4, which is still a very good result for Relentless if they can get the win.
Indeed. Checking. To be fair, Peter is on 2 warnings, so he's got to hope Peter does get another warning, so he does get the podium. But with Ruud Gillit catching up, he's already pulled away 1.6 seconds. You can clearly see the soft tire is working so well in the middle sector, just going onto the throttle so much faster and just having the turn in as well. So Ruud Gillit still looking very good here. How much can he catch up with? Now 3 laps to go here. And who is gonna win this Grand Prix? Is it gonna be NRL? Is it gonna be Relentless? I think it's gonna.
Ruud could actually.
Yeah.
He could come in handy for Commentalist here. If he catches up on those softs, maybe cost Pete a few milliseconds even just fighting with him. He's going to cost him a bit. We'll point out ESW Junior. He's had a great recovery race. He was in a really good position, and he let everyone pass. I don't know if he had damage or what, but he moved out the way. So back into 8th place. Very good recovery drive for him. I want to point that out. We've not spoken about him too much.
Agreed.
And Marcus as well. He's got a 5-second penalty from speeding in the pit lane, which he will not get removed. But 7th place with 16 laps on those hard tyres. You have to say well done, even if he will lose that to a few positions.
Indeed. As we now quickly switching back on board with Rick and Nathan. As in turn 1 I saw Rick on the outside of Nathan, and I thought they were gonna collide again, but they managed to keep it clean, to be fair now. So Colin Armace picks up another penalty here.
Yeah, and Colin Mason's had a race to figure out, I think. I'm not sure what's going on here, but he's been about as useful as my buddy BT technician. fixing my internet, so he's not had the greatest of nights. But Nathan JB trying to recover his drive a little bit back into P11. I think it's top 10 that get points. I don't see a way how he's going to get this unless Maxim picks up a big penalty.
With 2 laps to go now, switching back to the lead drivers, because this is where the main battle will be at. Who's going to win this Grand Prix here? Indeed.
And this is where the big game of checkers will start, because Maxim now, Kart now, really has to look into when he's going to pick his spot, because he's not guaranteed to get a great run out the last corner. Like, he could do all this waiting, and he might kick himself and think, I should have just gone for it earlier, because he's not guaranteed to get past Justas out the last corner.
Indeed, but with the straight being quite long, even with some sort of bad exit, the DRS will pay so much effect here.
It will pay effect, but the run to the straight is not. It's not like a Baku. Like, it comes quicker than you think. The DRS, he's going to have to be right up the back of Justas to get the overtake done out the last corner. I think he's playing a dangerous strategy here, where he maybe could have gone for it a few times and choosing to back off. He's giving himself one shot at this, and Justas has been in this position before. With a very fast driver behind him, and he held on to the win, and I think there's a chance he could do it again, so it's going to be very good. He's not chose to go for it now, so it will be down to the last lap, and look, he's got DRS here. He's not even close to him by the straight, so he's going to have to be right up his gearbox.
As he's gonna wait, as we see now battle behind, with Rudy Gullit going down the inside of Pietervol here. Squeezing him out, and it's going around the outside of Gullit. What a move there from Rudy Gullit. Around the outside of Pietervol. Can he now overtake Commentalis? Get P4 on track. As Pietervol's on 21 old lap mediums, and Rudy Gullit still on pretty much fresh off. So let's see what he can do on the tires. So switching.
He's going to have the DRS run. He's turned it off.
As he's so damn close. Now switching back to the lead battle here. Of course, now it's the last lap here. What can Kart Racer do?
Those mediums have completely died.
Look
and
how
he's right
close
at the back of Car Mentalist. And we're going to have to go to the front. I know that battle is intriguing, but this is the battle for the lead of the race. And it's Kart Racer now. What's he going to do? He's started to use. He's got 70% ERS left. We've gone through the last chicane. And will he now go for it on the last corner? Justas has put out quite a decent gap.
It looks
DRS activated. ERS is on. What will he choose to do? He's not backing off this time. He's going to go for the move on the outside, and he's going to have a better run as well.
He hit him.
And they made contact. And Justas did nothing wrong there. Kart Racer Justas is going to hold on to it, and Kart Racer had the move done.
He had it done. The race.
And hold it now. Cavendish side by side across the line. He got him.
He got him! He got it done! Rudy Gullit getting the move done.
By how much? The game's not even telling us. It has no idea.
Wait, this is the exact same time? Surely not.
I'm sorry. On my screen there, Carmentelis was a little bit ahead. I'm very confused by that.
I mean, we're gonna probably have to have a POV of both drivers here. See who was ahead at the end. But what a race here, with Justas picking up the win here against Kart Racer. But what a battle that was for so many laps. Both drivers just having to prove to make no mistakes, because every mistake will pay dividends, and both drivers just kept it so clean for so many laps.
And the Kart Racer would have had that. If he didn't make contact, he'd have had that move.
Potentially.
He was on the outside. He had a better run, and he would have had DRS.
Indeed. Shall we get them both in the party, potentially? Shall we, for some interviews, if both drivers are down?
Yeah, I'm good too.
Let me ask them quickly. And Pietervol on the podium.
And that I will say that between Carmentos and Hull is going to be very interesting because they were. Look at the finish. What does it say? The finish times for them?
I've got.
It says Hull was ahead. That's a very, very close one. We're gonna have to. I think both drivers have to submit the footage for that one.
Indeed.
I'm just gonna nip to the toilet real quick before we do the interviews.
Go for it. As Justas has won the race with Kart Racer in second, Peter Wall in third place for the LFR team, Ruud Gillet in P4 with Commentalus in P5, JR in 6th, Bayano in 7th, Max in 8th, Bumpy in 9th, and Matt TC still rounding out with a point there at the end. But what a race that was. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. We're just gonna wait if both guys or all three guys want to get to an interview. If not, we're gonna end the stream. But let's see if they want to join. But what does everyone think of that race in the chat then? That was an absolutely brilliant race we saw there. I certainly enjoyed it, so
Right, yeah, I'm back.
both the guys haven't reported or replied to me so far, so I don't think they'll be joining us now. So I think we're gonna wrap up the stream. Before we go, who do you think was our driver of the day then?
I actually want to go for. I was going to say Gullit because he did start at the back, but
Indeed, great drive, especially with the safety car as well. So.
Yeah, in a way I want to go. I also I think, was it Marcus? He did very well. He was on the hards, and he picked up a pit lane penalty, which took away his time, but he did very, very well on the hards.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. He crashed out lap 1, I'm pretty sure, no? And he got damage having to pit and still ending up in the points. Just sums up, if you don't give up, then you still can get points here, so great race there from. But I'm indeed just gonna go with Ruud Gillet, who just showed to have great pace on those softs. Yes, the soft did help, and the old mediums, but you're still gonna have to prove it and overtake the guys. And he did that by just having great pace. So I think that's gonna be it for this stream then. Hopefully everyone enjoyed, and then we'll see you guys back for next week, which will be, let me check the calendar. It will be Canada. It will be the Canadian Grand Prix. Next week should be another very exciting Grand Prix here for you guys. So if you guys have enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.